Hello and welcome to Chopped Greens. I am your host, Philip Amerine, sitting alongside the biggest buddy brethren. I was trying to come up with some alliteration there for the buddy buzz that is circulating around this room by you wearing a Kings jersey. Ooh. Ah.
It's going to be a short podcast ever when I get up and leave now.
Yeah, well, you'd have to, there would have to be a basket for you to swish as, the moniker of Buddy Healed. Otherwise, there would be no dropping of the mic. And you're not dropping this mic. That is too expensive.
I'm gonna drop this mic just to spite you.
Just in spite of me. Just, here, let me see that. Ba-doom, ba-doom. All right. Well, speaking... Interestingly enough, welcome. How's your week been back adjusting from London? Because I know last time it was right after. Now you're kind of getting back to the heat.
It's the heat's awful. It is the worst thing on earth, and it makes me want to cry a little bit whenever I wake up and it's already 100 degrees.
See, before you left, you felt so great telling everybody, sounds like a you problem, not me problem, in relation to the heat. And now the heat is on.
Yeah, it's another me. It's a me problem again.
It's back to you.
I did get to miss the 120 degree heat though, so that was pretty.
You missed the cherry, but now you're working your way on the frosting again. You're back on the the banana portion of the bread.
Hyperbolic or parabola a sundae now.
It could be, except I was never really good in geometry, except for Mr. Lindsay's class.
Not geometry.
Yeah. Anyways, so. Luke, I want to talk to you because there's something that's been bothering me, and it just so happens that the Espys are tonight, so it makes it timely. These awards and award shows that go out every year for every league, I would say let's disregard movies for a second, but in sports, they are just so wishy-washy. So incredibly wishy-washy. We hype them up as these storylines that are defining of each season, of each league, and that it means something, when in reality, I think it means nothing.
I kind of have to agree with you. We always hype up, that could be a dunk of the year, that could be play of the year, that could be performance of the year. And it's could it though? All that really happens is we take the giant, massive, worldwide collective of sports that includes high school and club and college and several different levels of professional sports, and we try to make it seem like we're going to take the best play of the year, when in reality all we do is take, hey, here's a top highlight from one league that happened relatively recently, because let's be honest, if baseball players have some of the worst luck when it comes to play of the year, because their season happens either right before or right after the Espys. So it's any highlights they get are typically either too soon, too close, or it's too soon,
late for it to mean anything.
It's too late to mean anything, or it happens just after the Espys, so everyone forgets about it by the next year.
And to me, we make all this hype about, let's just take the NBA, because we've been kind of on an NBA phase right now. Let's take the NBA. We say Russell Westbrook, MVP, James Harden, MVP, LeBron, Kawhi. We have these races in our heads, and each night it's a shooting performance, and you say, hey, wow, he's in the lead now. You go to, look at these numbers. He's putting up a statistical clinic. First person ever to average a triple. That's what I say. What does it all mean? When we look back on history, let's do a little game. So we know this last year, in 2016-17 season, Russell Westbrook won the MVP.
Yep.
Let's just start going backwards and seeing I want you to tell me who won each year. So 2015, 2016 NBA MVP was?
Curry unanimously.
2014-15?
Curry.
13-14?
Durant.
All right, you're getting close now. 2012, 2013?
LeBron.
2011, 2012?
D Rose.
No.
LeBron.
LeBron again. Miami Heat 2 times. Let's see. Derrick Rose was 2010, 2011, so you were almost there.
It was close.
Then 29, 2010.
LeBron.
28, 29. 2008, 2009.
That wasn't LeBron. Was it?
It was.
It was LeBron.
Yes, the 4-time winner that he is.
Ballin'.
And then, of course, that takes us to 2007, 2008.
Was that Nash?
That was Kobe.
Kobe.
That was Kobe's last win.
That was his only win.
That was his only win. That's correct.
MVP.
And then, of course, that brings us to the weird year of 2000.
That one was Nash.
No. 2006, 2007?
Was that...
I'll give you a hint. This was the second time that an MVP had to accept his MVP award after losing early in the playoffs. Losing in the first round. Also involved the Warriors upsetting the then number 1 seeded...
Was it Tim Duncan?
It was Dirk Nowitzki. They were upset by the Mavs. He was...
Oh...
I know.
I completely forgot.
Completely forgot about Nowitzki.
Honestly, I forget he ever won an MVP.
He's kind of that superstar that you just you give him the title of superstar, but then you forget what a great career he's actually had. Now we get to 2005, 2006.
Nash.
04, 05.
That was Nash too, right?
Yes, that was. He's back to back. Moving back, and we're getting into the harder ones. Kevin Garnett.
Was it Kevin Garnett?
That was Kevin Garnett.
Thank you for telling me.
You're welcome. I wanted you to know that one because it was kind of hard. 2002, 03.
Shaq.
No.
Duncan?
Yep. 2001, 2002.
Shaq.
Nope. Oh my goodness, you're gonna. Another back-to-back.
This was a back-to-back?
This was a back-to-back.
Can you give me the conference?
West?
So, was it Weber?
No. I don't even think Weber won one.
I don't think he did. If he hadn't by then...
No, he had not.
Western Conference, back-to-back, not...
Who won? Who just won? Who just won in 2002, 2003? You
Duncan?
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
this was
2001. This was the first of the two.
Oh,
we're going back.
okay.
We're going backwards. All right. Finally, 2000, 2001.
That had to have been Shaq.
No.
Did Shaq never win an
Shaq did win. He won, let's see. I think he just won one for just regular MVP regular season. I think he only won one. Yes, he only won one.
Okay.
But 2000, 2001, and then we'll stop the exercise.
What conference?
East. The Eastern.
East? Was it Allen Iverson?
That was the Allen Iverson year.
I think that was the year he carried them on his back to the finals.
To the finals and
Lost.
stole one game from the then undefeated Los Angeles Shaquille O'Neal-led Lakers.
Wait, what year did Shaq win?
Shaq won the previous year, 99, 2000. So you were just jumping the gun at like 2 years, 1 year. Then it just gets to a bunch of Michael Jordans and Charles Barkley and Karl Malone.
Okay, but I think that alone proves
that exercise.
Point. Shaq won a total of 4 titles and was the MVP, and I want to say 3 of them. And he didn't win a single regular season MVP that entire time. In fact, I'm pretty sure if we go back and look at MVPs that had won the title that year, we might have been able to come up with maybe 4.
Maybe. I'm right now. I'm looking on those NBA Finals MVPs. I want to say you're right on winning 3 MVP.
I think he won MVP each time on the first 3-peat, and then the second.
Also, for that 99-2000 regular season MVP award, he was 1 vote short of becoming the first unanimous MVP.
Which eventually Curry
somehow.
I don't even have a problem with saying that he was the MVP.
It's just the first.
It was the
unanimous.
fact that was the first unanimous that bothered.
You almost feel like that honor should be given to LeBron James or Michael Jordan or Shaquille, somebody else. But I do agree.
But still, he won unanimous. They won 73 games, didn't win the title.
And really, in the end of all this, maybe it's more of a detriment onto regular seasons. But what does it matter on how many regular season MVPs you win? To me, it doesn't add to your repertoire whatsoever. It just maybe one. One, I think, adds to it because we all recognize the greatness of Shaquille O'Neal, and it would seem odd that he didn't win at least one.
Hence why I kept guessing Shaquille O'Neal for like 4
gotta
years
be,
in a row.
It's got to be Shaquille O'Neal, right?
Gotta be Shaq.
We got to throw a dart on the dartboard. He's got to hit one of these bad boys.
And it's weird because when you really go through it, it makes you think of how many great players haven't won. Paul Pierce wasn't on that list. Dwayne Wade wasn't on that list. Vince Carter wasn't on that list. Kevin Garnett was on the list once. That was the year you gave me.
I totally gave it, and would you have known that had I not given it to you? That probably would not have been your first guess, right?
I was waiting to guess Kevin Garnett. I didn't know what year I was going to guess, though. I figured he had to have won one when he was with the T-Wolves at some point.
I think that year, though, he won with the Celtics.
What year was it? Do you remember?
I'm not sure, but I can definitely look it up. But the point of the matter is that it's very irrelevant to a career because Michael Jordan. Do you know how many off the top of your head Michael Jordan has for the MVP for regular season for the whole entire year?
I'm going to say that Jordan has. Let's go 3.
He had 5.
He had 5?
He had 5.
Okay. I guess. Like, I wouldn't say that it's wrong. But at the same time, and I think this is something we bring up every single year. And it's something we'll bring up every single year. Realistically...
You were right, by the way. Timberwolves for Kevin Garnett.
That's how I roll.
That's how you roll.
Realistically, I'm not going to acknowledge that.
Then please no.
Realistically, Michael Jordan should have won the MVP every single year he played. Realistically, LeBron James should win the MVP award every single year he plays.
That's probably one of the biggest problems is that in reality, when one person is so far in ahead, the winner, it just gets boring. And therefore, in order to create new storylines and new topics to talk about, we conjure up and animate these different players to elevate their status, so to even out the playing field, when in reality it belongs to one person. And on the other side, on the flip side of that coin, again, just staying in the NBA, because we could do this exercise going all the way into the NFL, MLB, every single league. But going on the opposite side, head coach of the year. It's amazing to me in the NBA specifically because in the other leagues it's much more lenient, but in the NBA, winners of Coach of the Year are either underrated. So Phil Jackson, say what you will about him as an executive, but as a coach, one of the top 2 coaches of all time in the NBA.
I consider him overrated.
Okay.
When you have Jordan, Shaq, and Kobe. It's kind of hard.
So then,
not
just
to
let's say, for sake of argument, accolade-wise, undisputed
okay.
top 2, right?
Yeah,
him and probably what, Popovich?
Maybe.
Okay.
Well, I mean, Popovich is the same thing. Like, he should realistically win it every year now, but
right.
I think he realistically only has it maybe 1 or 2.
He's won it 3 times actually.
3 times.
So he's the outlier for me that actually has won it a respectable amount. Phil Jackson's only won it once, but when you have certain coaches win it and the year after they get fired, I mean the NBA to me the NBA I think leads the rest of the sports world in that where they have a ridiculous amount of coaches who won it and then the year after got fired. I believe it started with Mike D'Antoni winning in 2004, 2005 with the Phoenix Suns and then getting fired the next year. We go to Byron Scott, I think also New Orleans Hornets, got fired the following year of his winning in 07, 08. We moved down to, I don't think the year after Tom Thibodeau won, he stayed. But George Karl, definitely of the Denver Nuggets. I remember that one. That was shocking.
Yeah.
That he lost the following year. And really, even Mike D'Antoni, who was written off by a lot of people this year, won for the Houston Rockets performance when, in reality, he was a number 2 seed. It's just us saying you did better than what we all expected earlier.
You overachieved with this team that we thought wasn't this good. Because he wasn't even a 2 seed, he was a 3 seed.
Right.
Right. I think it'd be interesting if more leagues adopted what baseball does. Baseball has 2 MVPs. Has two sets of Golden Gloves and Silver Sluggers. They separate their two leagues, and they say, here's your MVP, here's your MVP. Here's your Cy Young, here's your Cy Young. And the NFL sort of does it a little bit. They sometimes will, certain awards, they'll say like NFC, AFC, but not to the same extent. There's one NFL MVP. There's one.
Well, let me
NBA.
play devil's advocate with you here. Okay, so in 2014, Clayton Kershaw was the Cy Young winner.
Yeah.
Corey Kluber was also the Cy Young winner for the AL side.
Yep.
But we all knew Clayton Kershaw was the better of the two, even though they both had semi-relatable pitching, statistics. We all knew Clayton Kershaw was just the best pitcher in baseball, same as he was in 2013, since he won it twice in a row. And 2012, R.A. Dickey won. I mean, it's so inconsistent when we know Clayton Kershaw is the best pitcher that how come we should have to give it to another pitcher when we know who theoretically is the better of the two?
Because of how we word what we say the award is for. The Cy Young isn't given to the best pitcher. The Cy Young is given to the pitcher who pitches the best in that year. That is just what people give the Cy Young for. Who had the best season as a pitcher this year? When everyone gets into this argument every single year with MVP specifically. Well, are you doing it based off of who's the best player, or are you doing it based off of who's more valuable to their team? Because so-and-so's better, but without so-and-so, they wouldn't even be in this conversation.
That is the big argument piece of take a piece, move it here, or swap positions.
Yeah.
Because that was the main argument for Harden over Westbrook is which team do you think around the person is better, and who's achieving more with less?
Realistically, Westbrook, you can make the case for both. We talked a little bit about it before the podcast started, but Westbrook averaged a triple-double, but he was so horribly inefficient and he had such a bad team. It wasn't like it was necessarily as impressive.
The way you get your points, the way you get 30, 20, even 20 points. I'll take an 100% efficiency on getting 20 points than I would getting 40 points with a 25% shooting from the field.
If you're shooting 25%, that means 75% of your shots are more than likely, realistically, it's probably 50 to 60% of your misses get rebounded, if not a little bit higher. But that's creating more shots for the other team. Whereas if you are making 100% of your shots, or realistically, like 60% of your shots at 20 points.
A high 60 would probably be pushing it. But yes.
You're presenting the opponent less time to score. And especially because Westbrook wasn't... I mean, granted, Harden doesn't play defense either.
He's allergic. He does not have it. He has no D in the Claritin aisle. He just takes pure Claritin.
What bothers me is he's proven he can play defense. He went a whole stretch of almost a full season playing good defense.
I think that was when I was unable to grow facial hair, and he had a much shorter circumference around his beard. But yes, I agree with you.
It was 2, maybe 3 years ago.
2, maybe 3 inches ago, yes, for his beard.
And he was playing good defense. But he just was like, nah. Me and Mike D and Tony came to town, and everyone knows.
It's actually Mike and Tony. There's no D. No D with Mike.
That's not accurate at all.
He does not coach defense whatsoever.
He does.
No.
Yeah.
Hold your tongue.
No, it's real simple.
No.
He goes over this every single year. Guys, here's the defense we play.
No, you got to do it with the twang. Can you do it with his twang?
I can't do it. I'm not even going to try it with his twang because I can't do his twang.
Here, you say it and I'll repeat it.
Nope. So, guys, here's how we play defense.
This is how we play defense.
That sounds literally nothing like it.
You're rude, sir.
It's still accurate. We let them shoot the ball, and then we rebound the ball.
And we rebound. Gets inside the peach hoop.
I don't even know what you're trying to do because it sounds nothing like him.
Well, apparently his brother Dan D'Antoni, who his actual brother, I'm not even making up a person, it sounds fake, but his real brother is Dan D'Antoni, Apparently he is worse, and he will go around and play cards with everybody. And all right, now the jacks are wild, and we're going to go down and bet dollar bets, and this is a whole limit game, and it's hilarious. But your point remains that he somewhat coaches defense, and of course, if you win Coach of the Year, he'll forget more NBA tactical knowledge than I'll ever know. But the point remains is that when we see it shows up most astoundingly in the playoffs, you'll always get exposed. All your weaknesses get exposed because what teams hold back from playmaking and schematic advantageous positions get highlighted in the playoffs in order to win the game. His defenses are just below adequate, below even average. I'd say he faces the same problem that a great quarterback does. A great team such as the Green Bay Packers, the one time that Aaron Rodgers has had a above par defense, they won the Super Bowl. Yeah. We look at multiple different teams, and the same case could be made. But when we going back to these award shows, to me, it's impossible for us to derive any actual knowledge or validity to a player's career from that. And while at the end of the day, rings mean a lot, they don't mean everything. So it's finding that middle ground of where we can all acknowledge Michael Jordan's the greatest, but he doesn't have the most championships like Bill Russell does. Mm-hmm. Where we can find... I'm forgetting his name, but he used to play for like 7 different teams, and he holds the most Super Bowl rings in the NFL. I can't remember his name even. I believe it's Todd Haley, maybe?
I think it's Charles Haley.
Charles Haley. How we don't acknowledge him as the best NFL player ever. We see that as Tom Brady now, or Joe Montana, whoever you want to go as. Maybe even Jerry Rice. But the point is that we have to find where that actual line is of what makes you great. And what can we use to actually define it? We found that number. We found it in a calculatable number in baseball with WAR, with wins above replacement, and we're getting better at finding ways to define that. But in the rest of the sports leagues, we need to find an actual attainable number where we can take known quantities, known players, and how great they are. We can say, okay, the standard is Tom Brady's the best. How do we find an actual formula that supports that and ranks accordingly the rest of the players, so that way we know this formula is true to form?
Something I think that is very unique with sports right now where we're at is we're getting to the point where expansions aren't happening.
In teams?
In leagues. Hockey just added 1 team in Vegas. And realistically, you might see maybe another 1 or 2 more.
They're at what? Are they at 30 yet?
Who, hockey?
Hockey.
They're at 31 now.
Okay, so then...
yeah.
Since they're at an odd number, you'd imagine that they'd go up to an even number.
More likely, you're not going to see a lot of leagues hit 40 or anything like that. Most teams are slowing down, and they might add 1 or 2.
Well, it's for a natural fear of saturation.
Yeah, exactly.
But fans will get disinterested.
Bill Russell won 10 titles in 11 seasons playing against 7 other teams.
Right.
He literally had to win 2 playoff series.
And could you imagine if that happened today and the growth had happened outside of actual NBA teams? If you had that much of a high concentration of players within 7, 8 markets, that would be an insane. Winning that much more championships would actually mean an intense amount more.
Nowadays it would, but you gotta remember, back then
it's because of the massive volume of teams that you have such a wide attraction. Understood.
Well, not just that, but also there's just people can now develop more towards a sport. Back then, people didn't play basketball at literally every single school all the time. Right. You didn't have AAU teams. You didn't have these things. Nowadays, us as a culture have developed such a sports-heavy influence that you have so many good players. Back then, Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain were pretty much the 2 best players
by a huge point, by a huge margin.
Probably
It was a
America's
joke.
best athletes were in the Olympics. That's where most of the best athletes went. If you were going to be a professional athlete, you were a professional Olympian.
Yeah.
If not just the average working man.
No, for the longest time, baseball was literally a part-time job.
And beyond that, it was segregated. So within a small group, you make it even cutting out half the pie, you're making it even less of a true odometer of where talent is.
Jackie Robinson destroyed the league when he was in. He wasn't even considered...
He wasn't considered the best African-American player.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't by... I'm pretty sure there were like quite a few people that were considered a lot better than him.
It was just... I'm gonna shoot my big toe if I don't remember who the manager is. But the manager of the Dodgers at the time... The only reason why he picked Jackie Robinson more than the other more talented players was he thought that he had the temperament to withstand the harsh and heavy criticism that came with being the first player to break the color barrier.
Yeah. So I mean, as when we look at sports nowadays, it is going to become a more and more defining event to win a championship. You know, you can talk about super teams all you want. But part of it's just every player is just so good now. The worst NBA player
would destroy a youth football team.
What?
I'm just saying that the point is that
an NBA player's gonna hop on.
To be fair,
NFL,
they probably would.
Probably LeBron could have easily been an NFL tight end.
Very easily.
But yeah, but that's the point. Is like the worst NBA player can literally go to 99% of basketball courts in America and destroy anybody one-on-one. And so I think as we take that for granted nowadays of just how good the bad players are. Like back then, like LeBron playing back in the 70s, I guarantee you, he couldn't have played because he's too soft. He's not soft.
It's the rules that he's become a more skilled, efficient, finesse player than, and it's the way that he's able to do that. His ability to change and morph his game from a physical game to a skilled and finesse game, which makes him such a valuable player.
If you have LeBron growing up in the 80s,
forget it.
LeBron is going to grow up with that kind of physical gifts and that kind of physicality in his game. Think of a Charles Oakley physicality with a Kobe Bryant attack mode would probably be LeBron, if he were born 10 years earlier. And if he was born 10 years earlier, he might not get a chance to develop the skill set that he develops now. So I think it's stupid when we compare generations, because as generations go on, I think different awards and different championships mean more.
Well, I will say this. So when we talk about all-star awards and just throughout all the sports, what's the one constant that remains in everybody's mind when they look at the best players, the Mount Rushmores of each league? It's winning. It's more than anything else. You can use the other statistics to back up your claim as to why a player or organization, what have you, are the most successful, but winning above all else stays. That is a permanent, not stain, but it permanently stains your record, and nobody can take that away from you. It's the same as a college degree is to anybody else. They can do a lot, but they can never take away your education. And so because of this now we have 2020 hindsight to fully see, why do we even remember Bill Walton? Why do we, more so than Oscar Payton,
Because he takes his shirt off in the middle of basketball games while he's doing the play-by-play?
That is not why. But why did we remember just non-stop player after player, Magic Johnson? Why do we remember Larry Bird? I mean, think about it. If Larry Bird was not a winner, that as much of a winner as he even was, would we even remember Larry Bird? He was pretty boring. It was just his style of play that was fascinating, along coupled with the winning.
My favorite Larry Bird stories are his 3-point stories.
Would you like to share one?
The 3-point contest stories, the really popular,
Larry Bird walks in the locker room at the 3-point contest and said,
Yeah.
"Okay, guys, who's coming in second?"
Who's coming in second?
And then he won, wearing a shooting jacket. He didn't even take his warm-up jacket off. He just started pulling up threes and won.
And it's that winner's mentality. We even have words for it, like winner's mentality.
Yeah.
And he really got that extra special thing that helps him to win. Now that we're looking back at hindsight, the one thing that has stayed true more than anything else is winning. And the only one that I can think, the only sports league where winning is not as much of a necessity as it is in other sports is baseball. So baseball is the one sport where you can be a legend and not have won one championship because they don't attribute it to you. Barry Bonds, maybe it's even for being infamous for the steroid thing, but the fact that he has numbers makes him such a popularized persona in baseball. Mm-hmm. Even though most people, I would think, most casual baseball people who just go to baseball games and have heard of his name would probably assume he has a championship, not knowing that he only went to a World Series but never won.
Ken Griffey Jr. Most people, when you just think, oh, Ken Griffey Jr. is a great player. And he was. He's one of the greatest players of all time, but he never won a World Series.
Dan Marino.
Ted Williams.
Yep. Dan Marino, I only bring him up because he's one of the few NFL players that you can say that about where winning wasn't necessarily a necessity. But the point is that winning is one of the only and truest form of stats that the more you do it, the more championship rings you stack up on top of each other, the more validity is offered to your resume. And it's something that will always be coupled with your name, is that, regardless of how we feel about Aaron Judge, if he wins even 1 to 2 World Series with the Yankees, he's going to be a living legend in New York, which is a great place to be a living legend. Yeah. But the point remains, he will be immortalized because he won in New York. Same as if you win with the Lakers. There's places that even unto themselves, organizations where you couple winning and you just associate them with winning. So when they don't, it's if you can bring them back to prominence, it doesn't mean as much as if you bring them back to winning championships. Mm-hmm. So to wrap all this up, when we talk about the Espys and the NBA awards and the NFL end of the year awards, at the end of the day, it's the Super Bowl, it's the Larry O'Brien, it's what's the baseball, the World Series trophy, what is that?
I'm actually not sure if it
has
it yet.
But anyways, it's winning the World Series. It's those
Stanley Cup.
The Stanley Cup, winning the Indy 500. It's those things that make you stand out from the crowd and prove that you're the true winner, not Russell Westbrook. No shots fired.
But anyway, pretty big shot fired.
Yes. Well, I will be like Michael Jordan, and I will give you 5 right after this break. Did you like that?
No.
Okay.
Red Ribbon Realty Group at HomeSmart is a full-service real estate team of Phoenix natives with over 15 years of experience in the industry. When you work with them, you have 2 full-time realtors representing your best interests throughout your entire transaction, whether you are selling, buying, or renting. They also believe in supporting their community. Use code word chopped greens and Red Ribbon Realty Group will donate 15% of their net commission from your transaction to the nonprofit charity of your choice. Visit their website at www.redribbongroup.com and find them on Facebook. You can also email them at info@redribbongroup.com or call them at 602-888-6638. Red Ribbon Realty Group. Trust, commitment, home.
Eventually, we're going to have to talk about this Conor McGregor-Mayweather fight.
Oh, absolutely.
Even though I'm a very, very limited fight watcher rather. Well, I've never fought myself. I want to change that one day. I've always wanted. Okay, so this is an actual. I'm not even doing a radio bit here. I've always wanted to get into a fight with somebody, but I need it to be
structured
to where it's like we're both in agreement, because I don't know if I were to get into an actual fight with somebody, I don't know if I need to start training on my cardio for running away, or if I actually have something and I need to start knocking on wood and hardening up these fists even more. If I'm the deadly killer within me.
We'll do a boxing match.
Ooh, next year for the bracket challenge.
Oh, I was gonna say next week.
Oh, fantastic. Oh yeah, can't you do that in those UFC gyms popping around everywhere? You can actually sign up, you both sign away or something, sign a waiver, and they provide everything?
I'm honestly not sure. I mean, I have my own hand wraps and boxing gloves and...
There we go.
I have my shit. I would just need mouth guard. I'm sure they could supply helmets too.
That's true. Yeah, because really...
We're gonna want helmets.
Yeah, there's gonna need to be helmets. Probably the 8-inch gloves, right?
Depends.
See, there's a theory though that those are worse for you because all the padding, you can sustain more and more hits, so the repetition of that causes more brain damage. But again, if we're only fighting once,
I'll say boxers are doing 8-inch.
Yeah. So
where I think mine are 8 ounce. I think mine are 10 ounce.
Anyways, this is all a prelude to Give Me 5, the part of the show, Luke, where I've got 5 questions for you, you've got 5 questions for me. We are...
Have we been recording this
Oh my goodness, yes we have.
Oh, this is great.
This is great. I caught you on candid camera, even though I thought I did the whole spiel, but we're good. You didn't mess up at all.
I didn't even realize.
You didn't mess up. Anyways, part of the show where I got 5 questions for you, you got 5 questions for me. We don't know what they are, but we will answer them. Honestly, Luke, would you care to go first or second this round?
I want to go first.
You want to go first. All right. You're the president of this room. Go ahead.
I have a game, and I like to call it Who Gets Paid.
Who gets paid?
In this game,
Am I the answer to any of these?
No, you are in fact not.
I wish I was. Continue.
I think you'll wish you were too. So in this game, it's called Who Gets Paid. I will give you 2 athletes. These athletes range from sports of baseball, basketball, football, and even a hockey player. I will give you their base salary for either the year they just finished, their current year, or the first year of their new contract, depending upon their sport. Are you with me so far?
I think I am.
I will give you the 2 athletes' names, and you will tell me which athlete you think gets paid more.
Okay, let's do it.
Are you ready?
So I'm totally ready. And by the way, whoever the hockey one is going the lowest on my list. But continue.
Okay. Number 1. Who gets paid more? Timothy Mozgov or Tom Brady?
That is... the albatross is Timothy Mozgov. They had to sell him to go with D'Angelo Russell. Brady always takes discounts. I'm going to go with Mozgov. Final answer.
Correct.
Okay.
Mozgov gets paid $16 million for his base salary. Brady's is $14.
Figures.
Number 2, Andy Dalton or Bryce Harper?
Oh, it's got to be Andy Dalton. I think he did sign. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did sign his second year because those rookie deals in the NFL are worse than the rookie deals in the MLB. So I'm gonna go with Andy Dalton.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Correct again.
The red Polish rifle, whatever his name is.
Andy Dalton, $16 million. Bryce Harper, $13.6.
That's right. I think they added a year onto him, right? They renegotiated this last year to give him some more money. Okay.
Yeah, baseball contracts are very weird ones, especially with younger players. Once
Those
you get
arbitration
into
years,
and
yes.
rookie deals and whatnot.
All right, 2 for 2. Starting out unlike Gary.
Okay, number 4.
Shout out to Gary.
Sorry, number 3.
Okay.
Paul Goldschmidt
Okay.
or PJ Tucker?
Oh, you just couldn't resist, could you?
Couldn't. Well, he got his new deal.
He did get a new deal.
Goldschmidt is still kind of that in between where he's not really getting paid.
He was paid before he was hitting it big. I'm gonna go. I still think those MLB contracts are worth more. I'm pretty sure PJ took a discount. I'm gonna go with Goldschmidt. Final answer.
Correct.
Yes.
Goldschmidt gets paid $8.75 million.
Okay.
PJ $7.5 million.
Oh, so that was close. That was close.
Within $1.25 million.
There we go.
Okay, number 4 now. Victor Oladipo.
Oh, that's a bad one.
Or Mike Trout. the guy who just won MVP.
Yeah.
And has been in the conversation. He's been like top 5 every year he's been in the league.
Right. I don't know if he's... I think he's either entering the last deal of his rookie deal or last year was the last year of his rookie deal for Mike Trout. And Victor Oladipo, I know he's making like $24 million or some odd amount. I'm going to go with Victor Oladipo.
You are correct.
Yeah!
Oladipo, $21 million.
Oh, okay.
Mike Trout, $19.25.
Okay, so that's, again, semi-comparable.
It was the one of the largest arbitration deals ever made.
Yeah, I can imagine why.
Number 5, Sidney Crosby.
Yeah. Penguins.
Or Buster Posey.
Oh, wow. Is this the final one, by the way?
This is the
final pairing. So I could go a full 5 for 5 here if I think about this. All right, Sidney Crosby has been the prodigy for NHL. So I'd imagine even if... See, the problem is even bad NHL contracts don't seem that bad when you compare them to the other leagues. So
It's because their salary cap.
Yeah, I know their salary cap is way below everybody else. So I would, in that reason... I know Buster's gotten paid, so I'm going to go with Buster having the higher of the 2 contracts.
Final answer?
Final answer.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Buster's at 21.
He was drawing it out, man.
Is at 21.4, and Sidney is at like 8.7.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's crazy.
I know he's been one of the like 2 faces of the NHL, Sidney Crosby has been, but it still has not been paid as much as the other leagues. All right, excellent game there.
Thank you.
Nice little try. All right, Luke. Once formidable franchises such as Pirates of the Caribbean and Transformers keep hitting icebergs like poor reviews and tepid word of mouth. As these costly tentpoles take on water, the summer's domestic ticket sales have so far sunk 9% from last year, leaving studio executives and industry insiders queasy. Quote, "It's been a dud by any definition," said Jeff Bach, a box office analyst with exhibitor relations. "There are a lot of tired, creaky franchises out there. In the past, studios looked at sequels as safety nets meant to catch a lot of money, but they're not catching as much as they used to," end quote. Box office revenue to date stands at $2.29 billion compared with last year's $2.49 billion. Luke, I am going to give you this here if you want to hold it. This alien gun from the future.
Oh, I'm not holding that. Like a gun
No, it's all right. It's freaky. It's a little alien. But with it, you can destroy one movie franchise from ever being born with no time repercussions whatsoever. Luke, which franchise gets liquefied?
See, this is always tough for me.
Okay.
Because I don't mind.
You always get an alien gun?
Yes.
That can destroy movie franchises at your will?
I don't get it every day.
Okay.
But I don't mind bad movie franchise, quote unquote bad movie franchises. I liked the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie.
Okay.
Transformers, I go in with the intention of this is going to be a movie for purely entertainment purposes with a lot of explosions and not very good acting. So I go into it and I don't mind it.
You temper your expectations.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not a huge
Lover of art? A meaningful minutes spent of your life?
Honestly, in terms of movies, that's pretty accurate. I didn't even like The Revenant. I thought it had some beautiful cinematography, but other than that, it was long and boring.
Okay.
And I don't think that
Its sole purpose was to get Leo an Oscar. Let's call it what it was. But anyways, your point is, which movie franchise?
Here's my quick question before I answer.
Okay.
If I destroy this movie franchise now, can they go back? Will they be able to remake it?
Oh, I was thinking you were going to ask something different. Would they be able to remake it
and just start?
Yeah, because
scratch.
a lot of those come from source material. So
exactly.
Yeah, you can take it.
I'm gonna say James Bond.
Whoa!
Yeah, I'm gonna go right out.
Whoa!
I'm gonna go James Bond.
Whoa! What?
Yeah.
Did you not see Skyfall? Did you not see Spectre?
I didn't see Spectre. I didn't see
Okay. Spectre, I mean, Skyfall's fantastic. Spectre was
Skyfall was
better than ever. Oh.
I'll say it.
My mind is blown.
I would absolutely love to just erase the James Bonds and let them restart it.
You are...
And I would like it to be...
completely crazy, sir.
Somewhat more of a Kingsman feel.
Kingsman is interesting.
I love Kingsman, and obviously it's its own separate thing.
It is.
But I would like James Bond to be
very
more...
aware that it's taking itself not too seriously. Kingsman.
I just think that James Bond is like one of the most overrated movie franchises of all time.
Wow, okay.
It is. I have never sat through an entire James Bond movie and think, this was an amazing movie.
Okay.
I've thought, this is an alright movie.
Alright.
So I hope that got some hot takes.
It's very, very hot, like hot potatoes.
But keeping on the movie trend.
Okay. And by the way, I did ask you a movie question on the sports thing, because I know you had a little hissy fit last time.
I mean, a little bit. I recently watched Spider-Man.
Oh,
Homecoming.
amazing. Just yeah, see.
That one I'll give you.
Okay.
I'll acknowledge that.
Okay, cool.
It is arguably one of my favorite Marvel movies so far. So my question to you: give me your top 3 favorite Marvel movies.
All right. This is with the biggest asterisk I can give it, because they're just, by now there are so many good ones, and even the old ones. Daredevil, let's just say.
I just want to say, when I first made this question up, I was actually thinking just like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then and now you're like bringing up Daredevil, and I thought, as I was waiting to ask this question, I thought, wait a second, there's more Marvel movies than just the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so I wonder if he's gonna think that I meant all Marvel movies. And now that you mentioned Daredevil,
no, I mean, again, I didn't add it, but I mean, even, there are just some really old movies like Howard the Duck or something where, I mean, of course, I'm never going to mention that in my top 3, but you think of those older ones, and while they're, to me, they're classics, and Daredevil is ranked now with the modern, how we see, with the Dark Knight and the Avengers on all these movies, we just see it not age well at all.
Those are some real different tiers.
Yeah, I know. But at the time, it served a purpose. So, again, it's not in my top 3, but I'm leaving a lot of good stuff out. And unfortunately, there's just a lot of really great recent movies out that I can't take out.
Quit your excuses.
Okay, top 3. Number 3, Deadpool.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
Yeah.
That's a dark horse pick.
Yeah,
you
didn't think you were about to be like, oh, that's good.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's number 3. You said
that's number 3.
So we're starting.
I know.
Going up. Okay.
I know. So I have a lot of recent stuff.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I really, really enjoyed it.
You picked 2 over 1.
Yeah. The original was good. Again, that's when you're slicing hairs, you gotta say something's better. And I liked the second one. The story was was very relatable to me, so this is my top 3. And number 1, not my favorite superhero, but a fantastic superhero movie, Captain America: Civil War.
Okay.
And even Captain America: The Winter Soldier was just a fantastic espionage film. That was like number 4. I just didn't want to oversaturate my top 3 with, Captain America. It's my top 3. So that's my top 3. Excellent choice. Luke. Amazon Prime Day was yesterday. Though it is a day of joy and happiness to thousands across the world, many of us missed it, myself included, so I've got a game to rub it in your face of just what you missed. I'm going to give you 2 items featured on Prime Day, and you tell me which item cost more, alright? So I'm going to give you two names, and you just tell me on Prime Day. So with the discount, I won't give you the discount, but I just wanted you to tell me which one you think cost less. Let's go with less. Which one costs less? Are you ready?
Okay. I did actually participate in Prime Day, so.
All right. Well, then I'm rubbing it in my own face. Here we go. An 8-quart multi-use programmable pressure cooker, or a Black & Decker cordless hand vacuum. So pressure cooker versus Black & Decker.
Talk about that Ninja.
Yeah.
That Ninja 4-piece pressure cooker that I looked up that was $159.99.
Nope, not that one.
Oh, not that one?
Not that one. So, I mean, you must have seen a different one. But anyways.
Okay. So is that, or what was the Black & Decker what?
Cordless hand vacuum. So not an actual vacuum, but one that you use for collecting dust on the windows.
Which one was cheaper?
Which one was the cheaper of the two?
Hand vacuum.
The hand vacuum was incredibly cheaper with 25% off. It was only $45.99, and the pressure cooker with 31% off was $89.99.
That's why the deal I saw wasn't that much off.
Right. Second slate, mirrored aviator sunglasses, or a 9-piece mixing bowl and measuring cup set. It was plastic, just to help with the price.
That definitely.
That does cheapen it a little bit.
I'm gonna go out on a ledge, and I'm gonna say the mixing bowl stuff was cheaper.
With 61% off, the aviator glasses were only $10.09. Unfortunately, the mixing bowl and measuring cup set were only 20% off, so they were a $30.43 total bill. So you're 1 in 1.
That's still $30.
I know, that's crazy.
I would pay $30 full price for that.
Next one, a travel stash wallet to keep all your important belongings in one place, and that one place is around your neck.
So that you can easily get robbed.
Yeah, correct. Or a hypoallergenic overfilled micro plush mattress topper designed to have you snoring in seconds.
The other one's cheaper.
The travel stash wallet?
Yeah.
With 28% off, the travel stash wallet cost only $8.69, whereas the mattress topper cost $37.49 with 25% off. I was hoping to throw you off, and because this was actually really cheap. It was almost it was just a plastic little thing.
I was gonna say there's just you had too many sciencey words with the mattress topper.
To be fair, I'm just copying and pasting.
Absolutely.
So this is none of my advantageous adjectives. Next one would be a stainless steel microwave oven, okay, or a mini fridge with a freezer. So we're getting pretty electronic here. Both are pretty bad.
Do you have any like brand names for these, or
I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
So stainless steel microwave.
You're going full Price is Right though on me here.
Yeah. Stainless steel microwave or fridge and mini fridge and
freezer to boot.
Ooh, see, if it was just a mini fridge, I think I would have gone with that.
Does it help? I'll give you one. The mini fridge is 25% off.
That doesn't help me. Just makes me question my decisions more. I'm gonna go microwave. I'm gonna say the microwave was cheaper.
The microwave, it was 20% off, and it was only $80. The mini fridge, 25% off, $153.54. Do not forget those 4 cents.
It was the freezer that
added the price point.
If it's a mini fridge and a freezer, it's a lot of technology to put in one thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, abundance. All right, a 12-inch Zinus gel-infused memory foam mattress, or a 6-piece Mercer culinary knife block set.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're talking high-end here.
You said Mercer?
Mercer. Yeah, that's some pretty high-quality knife holders right there.
Knife holder?
Knife block set. No, I'm sorry.
Okay,
so it doesn't. Yeah, knife's included.
I'm gonna go with the mattress. Dang.
40% off for the mattress at $179. The Mercer 20% off at $119. Ballin'. I think you went a 4-for-1 there.
I did.
4 in 1 there. Good job. Excellent job to you,
Call
sir.
me up, Drew Carey.
There you go.
I'll hop on down.
Come on down. All right, your turn.
Coming on down for question number 3. Right now, happening in Las Vegas, the World Series of Poker is starting their main event tournament.
I was just thinking about this.
For those of you who don't know, the main event is the most popular tournament, and it's the most prestigious one in the World Series of Poker circuit.
It doesn't come with a title belt like the World Tournament Poker does, I believe.
No, but it does get a bracelet.
A very expensive bracelet.
Yes.
I, as a man, would definitely wear this bracelet every day,
absolutely.
in the shower, picking up mud, doing the rest of whatever I do in my life. I would wear this.
Anyways, the buy-in for the event, and the first, I forget how many, I think there's a rebuy like the first day or something, but the buy-in for the event is $10,000.
Yes.
It's not something you just happen to have on you.
You do save for this.
Yes. So my question to you, Philip, when are we going to go play in the main event?
I know people who have gone once, maybe twice in their life, but of course, not making it past day one, maybe day two. I mean, I forget how long does this take. I mean, I know it's like a year long, or it's like half a year long process, but it only culminates for one person like 5 days.
They changed it this year.
Okay.
It used to be, so basically they don't do it by, you have to have a certain amount of people eliminated each day.
Right.
So I want to say it's like 4 days, and now it used to be you had the November 9. So after like 4 or 5 days, they would cut it down to 9 people, and then they would have to wait till November before you could actually play the final table. This year, they just cut it all out, and they're going to do the final table at the exact same time. So it'll probably take 5 to 6 days, maybe a week, depending on, because it gets so much more massive every single time it starts.
Yeah.
Or every single year now.
I believe last year was the first year that they kind of took a dip back from just the continuous growth. But I mean, the payouts are massive. But the point is that I forgot the question. What was when are we going?
When are we going to play?
You know what? I need to have that disposable income. So in a sense, I need to go to the casino now and just stash away just my poker winnings every time. And with that, I could totally just cash it all in one time. Or we need to get some really good podcast sponsors to pay for our buy-in, because that's how a lot of people do it. I would not mind giving up 50% of what I make if somebody buys me in. I mean, shoot, you're still making what? 10 to 20
I'm pretty sure even if you're like the bubble boy, or like the second, first of all, if you're the bubble boy, and the bubble boy is the guy who gets eliminated right before payouts start, I think Jack Links, or a sponsor now, actually will fund them the money for next year's main event. Or at least I know they did that for like 1 year. It was like if you were the bubble, you basically got next year's entry fee given to you for that. But I think even if you are the first person paid out, I think you still have a profit of like $5,000.
Okay, so I have okay, so that would be why. Okay, so I'm looking at the payouts, and it's kind of varied, so I'm trying to figure it out. But even for if you fall somewhere and you're eliminated in the top 500, you still make about $20,000. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Back in 2015, they paid the number one person who won it all, $8 million compared to the number 2 person who made 4.5. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It bumps up real fast.
Yes. Okay. But yeah, that's and you are more than welcome to not play at my same table, but we can go play.
Right after this podcast, we're gonna go hit up
Wild Horse.
Wild Horse.
All right, fantastic. All right, my question for you, Luke. After 27 years as the voice of Kermit the Frog, puppeteer Steve Whitmire, will no longer voice the famous Muppet. The spokesperson who told CNN about the change didn't offer a reason why Whitmire is being replaced. Taking over will be Matt Vogel, the person said. So Vogel is another longtime Muppet performer whose credits include Kermit Lookalike and criminal mastermind Constantine, World's Most Dangerous Frog, in the 2014 film Muppets Most Wanted. He's also played various characters on Sesame Street. Luke, what is your favorite puppet character in Muppets or Sesame Street or others, and why?
I know growing up, it was Gonzo. Oh. And I had literally no reason. I just thought he looked weird and he had a funny name. And at the time, I liked Luis Gonzalez, the baseball player, and his nickname was Gonzo. And it made no sense, but I just loved Gonzo and his relationship with Rizzo the Rat. Okay. And
there you go.
And I love Kermit too, just not as much as Gonzo. So I'd have to say Gonzo's probably
number one.
Is probably number one. I'm trying to think if there's really.
Did you like Rubber Duckies, Ernie and the Rubber Duckies? No. Elmo did nothing for you?
I wasn't a fan of Elmo or Sesame Street or a lot of that. It was...
Bear in the Big Blue House?
Are we considering those puppets?
That's pretty close. I guess what? Do you have to be... Well, it's like a different genre. It's like a full-on body puppet. I don't know. It's different. But anyways, okay.
I think
you'll stick with Gonzo.
I think I'd go Gonzo.
Good for you. Stick to your guns.
Yeah.
Stay classy, San Diego. Your turn.
So, we talked about it during this podcast about award shows and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And in between our break, we looked at a funny video of Kevin Durant not being amused by Peyton Manning's opening monologue at all.
If you have not seen that video of Peyton Manning making a jab at Kevin Durant's expense, it is priceless.
Even Kevin Durant's mom is laughing, and Kevin Durant just looks so incredibly angry.
So stone cold, non-responsive that it's a response in and of itself.
Yeah.
He's saying everything while saying nothing.
But I've never really gotten to sit down and watch a lot of Espys. I think I watched it one year, but normally I'm either working or I'm out of town. Something always comes up, and I'm just never able. It seems like I'm never able to watch it. But I do like opening monologues to most of them, and I think there's always a few good moments, like people winning specific, like Craig Sager in his speech and stuff like that. I always find touching.
I think it's the Jimmy V Award.
The Jimmy V Award, yes.
Yeah.
So my question to you...
Stuart Scott, just the speeches that come out.
Yeah, I love the Stuart Scott one.
That was fantastic.
Is there any highlights of the Espys that you particularly enjoy?
Oh, I kind of jumped the shark there, but the Jimmy V Award, I think, is, in my opinion, it's the only legitimate reason why you have an award ceremony. It brings to light the outside of sports moments that involve sports, that are heartwarming stories that are genuine and true, and it doesn't always have to be a Stuart Scott where it's a high profile persona. I think this year it was a kid, a super fan for the Saints or something.
Was it Jarius?
I'm not sure, but also they also have the nominees, so they haven't. I don't think they've awarded that yet. But the point remains. Those moments, whether it's Jimmy V's actual award speech and then the award named after him in the following years, and just those people who get a chance to go up there and are given an opportunity to talk to everybody, and it's so incredibly beautiful. If you have not heard Stuart Scott's speech on the Espys,
look it up.
You're missing out. That is a complete motivational tool for anybody going through any walk in life. It doesn't matter what you do, whether you're into sports or not. Just go do yourself a favor and watch it. One of the best chilling moments of that totally stops you for a good 5 minutes, totally worth the time of your day. So that's got to be my shout out.
Every week during Jimmy V Week on ESPN, whenever they play that speech, it's just it always gives
never gets old.
Never fails to give me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Jarius Robertson won the Jimmy V Award this year.
So there you go. Congratulations. And that to me, that's a very prestigious honor to win that award. It's unbelievable. So going to a lighter note, summer is here, and that means, Luke, it's time to break out the water guns. Or if you're YouTuber Mark Robert, formerly a NASA engineer, it's time to build the largest water gun ever made. Robert's giant water pistol is a little more overpowered than the original backyard toy, firing jets of water at 272 miles per hour, with enough force to slice through a watermelon and shatter glass. I don't know if they have a watermelon in front of the glass, the watermelon just shoots and breaks the glass, but it can do both. But despite the giant scale, the supersized Super Soaker works pretty much the same way as the toy version. Pressurized air is pumped into a chamber of water and released with a trigger to shoot a jet of water. Robert's version instead uses pressurized tanks of nitrogen gas and water for far more impressive results. But hey, it's all working on the same principles. Luke, what is the best non-lethal weapon in the world? We're talking water gun, airsoft, paint gun, the old slingshot. What goes for Luke Wright?
Oh, wow. This is... The best non-lethal weapon.
Non-lethal weapon. I mean, maybe even potato bazooka. Like a snowball slingshot.
Marshmallow shooter.
That's true. That doesn't hurt per se, but it is. Everybody wins.
Did you ever see Austin Powers?
I did. I love the Austin Powers franchise.
A shoe? Honestly.
Who throws a shoe? Oh, yes.
That's I'm gonna go with shoe.
Fantastic. I'm so proud of you. I actually am. I'm gonna give you a standing ovation here for picking the shoe. God bless you.
He's not standing.
But I want to. I'm giving you a standing ovation in spirit.
Thank you.
Your turn, sir.
Okay. So, I eat a lot of tacos. And I had tacos for lunch.
Best preamble to any Give Me 5 question ever.
I had tacos for dinner last night. I had tacos a couple days ago. I eat a lot.
Well, the D-backs are winning, so I mean that helps.
No, not even Taco Bell. Like I went to the store last night after work and I bought ground beef and tortillas.
You make them?
Yeah.
That's actually more impressive.
I made them. Yes.
Go to you.
Thank you. I mean, some of them I did buy from
You're
Taco
right.
Bell.
That's
But,
that's not
I make my own tacos. I eat other people's tacos. So I like to eat a lot of tacos. And so my question to you is, if you could only eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
All right, are we talking food genre or just like a specific, like if I pick rotisserie chicken? I'm sorry. If I pick rotisserie chicken, am I stuck with rotisserie chicken, or if I pick Italian food, I can have like all the Italian?
No, I'm choosing tacos, so it has to be like a dish.
Okay.
So you can't be as vague as Italian.
Okay.
You could say like spaghetti.
Yeah. Okay, so I would need something that I think I really would pick chicken, because it's so multiverse and you can have it dry. Well,
you're just saying a protein though. Not really picking.
I can pick a dish.
I want you to pick an actual specific dish.
Okay, you know what I'll pick? It has to be multi.
It's like a taco is a taco.
I'm gonna regret this, but I think I'm gonna pick lasagna, just because you can really do a different kind of lasagna.
That might be the worst take I've ever heard in my entire life.
Well, I mean, you can have like a...
I'm giving you every dish possible and you choose lasagna?
Well, I would, as much as I love macaroni and cheese, I would eventually yearn for something more proteiny.
Mac and cheese with beef. Mac and cheese with hamburger.
I do.
Mac and cheese with turkey. Mac and cheese with buffalo chicken. Mac and cheese with pork.
They do have a Cheez-It mac and cheese like fry at Burger King now. Okay, I think okay. I'll redact it. I'll go with hamburger.
Like hamburgers?
Yeah, just hamburger. Like cheeseburgers.
Okay.
All right, there we go. All right. Excellent question. Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees just won the Home Run Derby and has dented stadiums with his power home runs in the past, and on his way to becoming a New York icon, and is even hitting above average just in the regular season. Luke, simply put, earlier in the season, you criticized the Yankees for overreacting to Judge's performance by portioning off a slice of the stadium to be called Judge's Court. Luke, speaking of meals, would you like to eat your crow baked or rotisserie or in a pie?
Or in a hamburger?
Or in a hamburger? Or in rice form?
First of all,
or in taco form?
Judge's Chambers.
Judge's Chambers, I'm sorry.
Second of all, no. It's still been less than a year. Oh my god, he's had one great year.
You're gonna go down with this ship?
No, it's not.
You're gonna be stodgy old baseball man.
No, because I don't even have an issue with him. I don't have an issue with the concept of Judge's Chambers.
Okay.
I have an issue with the fact that they literally did it like a month into the season.
That just proves that they're great foreseers.
No, because so much can happen. So much good or bad could happen.
The literal only point I will give you is that in no other sport can you have up and down years like you can in baseball. One year you can be complete, Cy Young winner. The next year you're complete trash, i.e. Justin Verlander. I.e. The guy for the Angels. I can't remember his name right now. Not Mike Trout, obviously. Pujols.
Oh, that was a little different. But yeah, like you can go from really great to really average and then really bad. Or vice versa. You can go really bad to average to it's so up and down in baseball. So to give your rookie his own section after a month and a half or whatever it was is way too soon.
Worst take is Aaron Judge it's too early for Aaron Judge, or PJ Tucker's going to help the Raptors. Which was worse for you this year? If we were giving an award, one of those is those are the nominees.
No. Worst is lasagna.
So the nominees are PJ Tucker for MVP in the second round of the playoffs in the Eastern Conference.
Would have been if he had more.
Aaron Judge won't live up to the hype.
I never even said he wouldn't live up to the hype.
Lasagna.
I did not say he
and the
wouldn't
winner
live up
is
to the hype.
PJ Tucker. Come up and accept your shoe.
All right. Well, that will end a glorious Give Me 5. A highly
entertaining one, to say the least. We will see you next week and soon. We have not forgotten. Our loyal fans will not be sequestered for their need to get your.
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
It means all that I need it to mean and more. But you will be punished soon enough. I don't know if it'll be this weekend or next week, but it's happening, people. Don't worry. We are getting to it. So
I'd like to officially announce my retirement from the
Chop Green
podcast.
I wonder what that would mean. You got to get blended somehow, or maybe it's like just a margarita mix out or something. I don't know. But the point is, we gotta. We're gonna box. We're gonna shave a portion of you, I'm not shave. That's a little weird. We're gonna wax a portion of you. And
is that what Gary decided?
I don't know to be honest with you. I imagine that's what it is, but he could have changed his mind. He's very temperamental. Twitter one day, Twitter not the next. Who knows? Well, you go off and enjoy a taco. For Chopped Greens and all of us here in the big production studio and headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia. It has been
Luke Wright.
A very confused Luke Wright. A very heinous Philip Amerine. Thank you very much for listening. Of course, listen to our archived episodes on YouTube. And please listen to our new episodes coming out every week on SoundCloud. Bye.